Austin. Austin.
How are you?
Thanks, Robert.
Yes, how are you? Horace, good morning. Raven.
Robinson.
Hi, I'm Dawn. Nice to meet you.
Matt Collins.
Very nice to meet you.
Mark Stanton.
Nice to meet you. Good to see you.
Please have a seat. Make yourself comfortable. Good morning.
Good morning.
Start off by telling us why you would like to be a judge.
Good morning, everybody. I can tell you that I'm not somebody who has aspired to be a judge my entire life. For me, this has been more of an evolutionary process. I enjoy the law. I enjoy procedure. I enjoy jurisdictional issues. And through my practice, I think a lot of people think that family law is so emotionally driven, and it is a lot about emotion. I'm a family law practitioner, and I'm board certified in marital and family law. But family law can also be quite cerebral. We deal with, I think, no other area of law than family law encompasses the other areas of law like family law. We deal with contract law on a day-to-day basis, drafting marital settlement agreements, moving to set-aside settlement agreements. We deal with tax law issues. We deal with alimony. There are tax consequences to the recipient and also to the payor. And I feel like with my experience in family law to me is basically civil litigation, probably with a little bit of the emotion involved. It's something that I feel with my experience of 20 years that I would be able to offer my expertise to a busy family law division. It's my understanding that it could also address some civil litigation as well, not just a family law division. For those of you who don't know me, I've been practicing law in Volusia County for 20 years. I first started off in the public defender's office. I worked in the juvenile division there. I learned the elements of both misdemeanor and felony crimes while in the juvenile division, and I was in court on a day-to-day basis. I next worked for Rice and Rose for 2 years as an associate, and in that capacity, I started to handle family law and anything that Judge Paul didn't want to handle. And so when I opened my own practice, I knew that I did not want to do landlord tenant law, and I have not done any landlord tenant law since that time period. But I began to develop an expertise in the area of family law. And it's something that I believe with my experience of 20 years doing family law, that it's something I can bring to the bench to a family law division, and I would consider it an honor to be selected by this committee to represent the 7th Judicial Circuit.
Well, Don, it could also be a criminal assignment as well as a full-time civil. Were that the case, tell us what you would do to prepare yourself for that new area of law, so to speak.
Well, and I do have some experience in criminal, and it was granted very early on in my career. But Chapter 90, the Evidence Code, is really what binds the different divisions together. And if you're a litigator on a day-to-day basis, Chapter 90, which is the Evidence Code, that's what we deal with. And it's, about knowing the rules of evidence inside and out. And since I have a heavy litigation practice, I would be able to bring that to the criminal division if this ended up being a criminal division. I really do enjoy procedure. I obviously would read the rules of criminal procedure. I'm familiar with the civil rules of procedure and obviously the family law rules of procedure. They're actually quite similar. The family law rules follow the civil rules of procedure.
Did you used to serve on this commission?
I did several years ago.
So if you were looking at yourself as an applicant, if you were back in our seats, what would you see as your strengths and weaknesses going up as a judge?
Well, I can tell you for me, one of my strengths, and for anybody who knows me, I have a very strong work ethic. And it's something that I would bring to the bench. I would not consider this a retirement type position. I'm a bit of a workaholic. Over the past couple of years, I've tried to temper that a little bit and make sure that you work efficiently even though you're working hard. I'm somebody who is exceedingly well prepared. I don't think at any given time you can always be the best attorney in the courtroom, but I can tell you that over the years, if somebody underestimated me, it was certainly to their detriment, because whereas early on in my career, I may not have had the experience, I was always very well prepared, and that's something I would bring to the bench.
Don, you've lectured and written a number of articles. Can you tell us about some of them?
Yes, thank you. Several years ago, I wrote an article that was published in the Bar Journal, and the issue of equitable distribution was pretty much up in the air. There was a conflict between the districts, and without getting too much of being a law nerd, it was really interesting to me. But there was a conflict between the two districts. It made it very difficult for us to settle cases with respect to appreciation, whether it was marital or non-marital. And I actually was litigating a very difficult case, and the husband attorney on the other side was just killing me with research. He was an excellent attorney and really worked me hard. And that's how that article developed, was because we were researching the issue so extensively that I ended up writing an article on it. And the article was cited in a first DCA opinion, and later the CAW case. I can't say I agree with all of the decision in the CAW case, but ended up being, I think, follows some of what was in the article that my husband, who was the co-author of the article that we wrote. And I also do lecture, and obviously it is in the area of family law, at different CLE seminars. I think we've got one coming up in April. I think you also speak.
We have pantheon judges in the Seventh Circuit. If you could say who do you admire, or who would you model yourself after? You know, which judges would you point to say these are ones that I think I would hold up an exemplar of how you feel that you would be on the bench?
Probably be a hybrid for me. I had the privilege of practicing before Pat Kennedy, and his knowledge of the law, to me, that's something that when I would go in front of him and I would cite a case or a statute, wave his hand, Ms. Nichols, I'm fully aware of that case, and it was just a pleasure to be, I didn't realize at the time how spoiled I was. And then I think I'd have to say Judge Beck's demeanor. I really like it that he has not changed since he was an attorney, and now that he's on the bench, he's just very approachable, and I think the two hybrids, and I'm not saying that Judge Kennedy's demeanor was lacking or that Judge Beck is lacking in his, when it comes to the knowledge of the law, but that hybrid, I think, to me, would be what I would like to do.
I know, given the nature of your practice, non-jury trials are what you're invested to. Have you taken any steps or have you had an opportunity to observe any jury trials?
Actually, that's a really good question. What I did do is because I do enjoy procedure so much, I started reading the rules of civil procedure with respect to jury selection, and also the criminal rules of procedure with respect to jury selection, because that's the one area that I felt that that's something I would need to get up to speed on. So I read on the challenges for cause, peremptory challenges, and read up on those different issues. So if I were to be selected, I would be able to hit the ground running on that. I'd also obviously speak with several colleagues and sit on some jury trials prior to taking the position.
Anyone else? Dawn, thank you for coming in this morning. We'll be making our decision by the end of the day and letting everyone know immediately.
Great, thank you so much. And I just wanted just a quick moment, since I served on this committee before, thank you all for taking the time to go through all the applications, taking 2 days off from work and then right around the holidays. It really is a